McGee, 20.
What a normal cell looks like when they go out to the rec pad. You look through everything. Toilet paper.
38, 20. Go. TH2131.
Make sure everything's bolted down. Do all their personal. Pat it down real good. Nice. Not supposed to have anything like that here. They've torn open one of the blankets.
It's a pillow.
Well, actually a pillow. And they've stuck their jersey over it, scrub, with a pillowcase. Cut open the corner.
Go for 31.
Gotta check everything.
Clear.
Notice this mattress doesn't have a plastic cover. Is that because it became torn or was it taken away?
He ripped off his plastic cover. He ripped off his plastic cover. We got it this morning. So we're just waiting for the new mat to come in. He will get a new mat. So what they do, they rip off the covers and they make the strings for the Cadillacs. So, and these strings they're pretty, I mean, they're...
The strings actually come from the mattresses?
Yeah. Yeah, the strings come from the mattresses. They're hard strings, so they can cut you. They can, you know, choke people. They can do with things like that. So we have to be very vigilant and look through things and make sure. I mean, this is a common thing. Not only is it used for trafficking, these are also used for, you know, they can hurt themselves with them. They can flush them down their toilets. They can pop the locks. There's 101 things that they can do with the strings. But mostly they're used for trafficking. They make Cadillacs and they go around and they pass it around through stuff. So we got to look for that.
How difficult this problem is it for you, your staff here, to deal with this Cadillac in traffic?
You can't stop it. I mean, all we can do is just control the speed of it. We see it, we confiscate it. It's kind of like bugs in your backyard. You see one, you step on that and kill it, there's probably going to be 50,000 under the next bush. So we can stand there and control it, we can slow it down. It's just to the point of stopping it, making them aware there are consequences. They do get rolled up for trafficking, they get rolled up for destruction of state property. So there are actions. You know, what they do, there are consequences for all their actions.
And when they get written up, how does that affect their...
That affects their growth levels, especially here in the segregation unit. We're under the new impact, which is policies. You know, it's a different program we're going through, getting them ready for getting outside in GP, general population, getting ready to be released and back into society. So they understand that they do something wrong, there's reactions and things get taken away from them.
So it just kind of sum that up, it's like for every infraction, it damages their graduation from this?
Yes, they're released from this unit here, their program. This is a segregation unit. Again, it's a jail within inside the jail. You know, it's a complex. So they're being punished for stuff they did out in general population, so they're in here. But again, I'm not the judge, so I'm not standing here trying to, you know, what they did out there. It's how they act in here and how they, you know, react in here is how we judge them. So we try the best to our ability, help them out, try to help them along. So to get them where they need to be. But again, if they mess up and they get infractions, they lose their majors, or they get majors, they get placed on disciplinary sanctions, then they lose their levels, which pushes them back farther. So.
Okay, so the more infractions, the longer they have to stay.
More or less. I mean, they can get out of here as soon as they want to get out of here. Their course, they can get out of here, you know, as easy as, you know, 1 month, you know, to 8 months. You know, it depends on them. But if they want to stand there and, you know, get out and do everything right, Offender Bear, he's been here for, I'd say about 5 months now. He's already on level 4. So he's moving up very rapidly. He's doing his program, he's quiet, he doesn't have any problems, you know, little things like this here and there, but they're still, it's a major. So in general, he's been good. He's getting his levels. He's going to get restrictions now, but still, he's, you know, he's a good candidate for the program. So.
Can you point out a couple other features of this cell and what's
Yep.
going on?
As you can see by Officer Daly, there's a lot of STG on the wall.
What is STG?
Security threat groups. It's with the gangs, everything
This
else.
is essentially gang graffiti.
It's gang-related graffiti, yes. Vice Lord. It's a
Did you get this one, please?
Yeah.
it's a Muslim-based gang group. So, as you can see, he does have the Holy Quran. And we try to be respectful about everything. This is wrong. He's already been wrote up for destruction of state property. Again, we can keep writing him up, clean it off, write up, clean it off, write up. It's just more stuff that comes on there. We're just isolating it, you know. So we're not compromising with him. We're just not making the situation worse. So he's already been wrote up for it. So we're, you know, that's that. When he leaves, the room will be repainted, redone, and then the next person that comes in, they do the damage, they'll get charged for destruction of state property. So, did you check in the envelopes and stuff?
I did all the envelopes. I'm gonna check under the bed. Got more paper than he's allowed. Scroll work. One pencil? Nope, 2 pencils. Gone. Oh, you got a pencil and an eraser. You gotta look underneath here a lot. We'll take it, put their toothpaste, put their stuff up on the top. You won't ever find it. You'll just look real quick, keep on going.
Should look up there. Okay.
So if you
He's
can
10-6 right now.
We found some contraband here, but it's not serious, and then
Right.
go from there.
Yeah, not serious contraband, but you know, like we have soap. Soap is a, you know, are all personal hygiene products, but the soap itself, they can use it to cover up the camera so that we can't see them for their safety and ours. Toothpaste, they can take the toothpaste, put in the locks, jam the locks. Again, security reasons is why we don't have it. The pencil, for one, they can pull the eraser out, use a metal, file it down, cut themselves, cut staff, peel it apart, use it as razor, cut staff if they want to. So it's just saying it's that we're being cautious for ourselves. So it's protecting our safety, little things that you wouldn't think of in normal household that can be so dangerous, but it's what it leads up to becomes dangerous. So we're just saving ourselves and, you know, helping ourselves out. So.
It kind of sounds like you know, they kind of got nothing on their hands. But
All they have is time. All they have is just idle time on their hands and just thinking of ways of just to do stuff and, you know, how they're gonna get through with things. And I mean, they're in here. If you look at the rooms, there's not a lot to do in the rooms. They get outside, they get their rec, they get their school, but still most of the time they're in their room. And besides yelling out of the door, honestly, I'd rather, you know, them try to hide stuff on me. It's a game to them. You know, can Sergeant Anderson find, you know, something that I had in my room today? If not, they'll go, I found it, see what you didn't get. So to them, it's a game, but it keeps them occupied, you know, to the point of,
game.
Game, can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I'll go search it. We'll have another officer come in and search it. I'll not think of a place. Oh, one time you forgot it. We'll find it the next time. So just a big game.
Just try to wind you up, basically.
Right. Trying to find out where I can hide it. Childish game. Surprised there isn't one in that one right behind you. There's another open box. Let me step on you. I'm gonna put it up.
Okay.
How many hours a day are these inmates typically locked up?
Well, they get their hour rec, they get an hour of school, then they get their treatment movement. With the new program, once they get to levels, they do get to go out. It's called an honor squad. It's our marching program that we started. They get to go out, they get to march around. It's kind of like a basis level. You know, they do good, they get rewarded for more stuff. If they do bad, they get knocked off the team. So we're rewarding them, trying to get them ready for GP and, you know, show them that you do good, things get rewarded. You don't do good, you don't get rewarded things. So we're trying to set that in their mindset so that a lot of the juveniles that come here, they have this mindset, well, I'm just gonna do bad, I'll take what I want. I'll do bad, I'll take what I want. They don't understand the process of, well, if I do this, I'll get this. So that's what we're teaching them, and that's what they're going. So once they do get out into that program, they do get to go out more. They get, you know, they have movies, they have, you know, they get to march around outside. They get more details, they get more responsibilities, I guess I'm trying to say, for themselves, so they can create a better goal for themselves. So.
Okay, so for the ones who are really still uncontrollable, they're locked up as much as 23 hours a day, and the ones who are...
Still, they get school. They get school. It all depends on them. I mean, some of them, we let them out, they get counseling sessions, they have their group sessions. Everything, 80% of the stuff they do in GP, they still do in here. It's just different procedures. They have handcuffs, they have shackles around their feet, they're escorted. So they still get to do a lot of stuff they do out in GP, it's just different ways of doing it. Again, they had the opportunity to do it out there, but they did get in trouble. So now they're paying for their price. And it takes them a while to realize that, but then they understand, well, I did mess up. So they do start getting better and they do realize it. So it's kind of a reconditioning for them.
A little bit about what this whole experience has been like for you and how long you've been locked up.
Shit, been locked up altogether like 14 months. I've been to DOC twice. First time was for burglary, this time for auto theft. This has been like, you in here, it makes you not want to come back, basically.
Every kid we've talked to said that. Like once you're here. But you had a lot of kids come back?
Yeah, I came back because I made a mistake.
Did you think you weren't going to get caught? Or?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Somebody told them.
So what are you thinking when you're out there, you know, committing a burglary or stealing? Do you have any remorse after you do it, or?
Sometimes for reasons, sometimes I be with other people, just be with them. I just get caught.
Is that a lot of it for teenagers, peer pressure? Gang pressure?
Not really.
Are your parents in the picture at all? Do you live at home?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you guys live with your parents? A lot of kids we talk to don't. So how do your parents feel about all this?
My mama be mad, but she just give me tough love though.
Do you get visits from her?
Sometimes.
When was the last time you seen her? Do you remember?
4 months ago.
So what about you? What was it like for you when you were outside?
I'm Johnson. I'm Thomas Johnson. I'm from Hallville, turning Winfield block. I mean, my experience is like, I've been locked up the whole time for a year, but I've been in the DLC for a year and a couple of days. So my experience was not to come back. Same thing, my mom give me tough love, but she feel like where did she go wrong at? So,
really? Do you think she feels guilty about you being here?
no, that's my fault, not her fault. I understand her working every day, not being home, but still, that's her fault, not working every day. But I don't think it's her fault because she tried to feed us and keep a roof over our head and stuff like that.
So do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I'm the oldest. I'm 18. I'm 4 brothers at home and 1 little sister.
So how do you think they feel about you being locked up?
They cool. I mean, they feel bad that the big brother don't take them to school and stuff like that, but they cool.
So what did you get busted for to bring you to DOC?
I did a bad crime, something that I hope to look. I did robbery. I did robbery, and to the extent I went all out with it. I didn't really care if I got caught or anything. So I just,
Why didn't you care if you got caught?
because I was on the run anyway, so I just did what I had to do to survive.
So did you rob a particular person that you knew, or was it a random?
Nah, it was a random person. They just had what I wanted. I knew the person that had what I wanted. I just had to get it before they give it away or something like that. Too much.
Was it an armed robbery? Yeah. So after it happened, how did you get caught?
Well, I got pulled over and I gave them my wrong name, and they found the vehicle that I had was somebody's of my family's, so they knew it was me already.
Do you feel like you're marked when you're out on the streets back in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
The cops know who you are. If you've been in trouble before, they kind of pay particular attention to you. Does that happen? We hear that a lot. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah.
Yeah. My neighborhood, yeah.
You guys, we were talking to some other kids who said, they kind of blame the life they've had on the neighborhood they grew up in. It's just a way of life.
Yeah.
And that's how you survive. If you're not part of a gang, or do you feel that way?
Yeah, my neighborhood bad. It ain't bad, it's just a lot of stuff going on in my neighborhood.
Shootings, stuff like that.
Shootings, drugs,
Drugs,
gangs.
Everything.
hood bang, all that.
Did you ever think it was scary? I mean, look, I come from kind of a rough neighborhood in northern Indiana. And when I was growing up, a lot of people were afraid to come through my neighborhood. And I used to laugh. They're scared of us. I never thought it was scary. But to other people on the outside, they thought it was. Were you guys ever scared?
Because the name of the neighborhood was?
Yeah, it was pretty much known. Bad side of town. But to be honest, yeah, a lot of my neighbors went to prison, but they were nice to me. They didn't do anything to me. But other people were afraid to come through.
It wasn't scary for me because I knew everybody though. The people I knew that was doing the crimes, I knew them. So I had nothing to really worry about because...
Were you going outside of the neighborhood to commit the crimes?
Yeah, I don't do it no more because I know everybody in my neighborhood, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
So in some ways, even though you grew up in a bad neighborhood, you feel kind of safe because you're doing your crimes now.
Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with anybody now that you're here? Any of your old friends? Tell me about that.
I don't necessarily hang out with friends, I mostly hang out with family members, basically. But a lot of females know, they know I'm coming home soon, so I'm cool.
Females, buddies, aunties, uncles, I talk to them.
Do you guys feel like you can make friends inside here? Tell me about getting to know other guys who are locked up.
People I know, like this is the people I know from the street. So all the base people I hang with is people I know from the street.
Who've also come here?
Yeah, it's a lot of them here.
Really? Did you know that before you got here?
Yeah, I knew they was here. Some came when I was in here.
And you did? So when are you expected to get out? Do you know?
Probably like next month.
Explain to people who are watching this. I think people think, well, you get put in a place like Pendleton, you serve, whatever, 6 months, a year, and then you're out. But these are indeterminate sentences, right? So you guys really don't know when you're going to get out. How do you get out?
You gotta make like level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then they send like some paperwork out saying where you gonna live at when you get out. And then they mail it out to your judge, and then when your judge mail it back, that's when they got your release date. But it take every 2 weeks to make a level. But if you get in trouble for something a little petty, they set you back for your level. So it take like at least 9 or 10 months. It ain't really 6 months.
Tell me what it's like being in front of a juvenile judge.
Kind of your heartbeat, it's kind of a little scary, your heartbeat. You don't know, kind of nervous, so you don't know what he thinking, what everybody else thinking.
Is it scarier being in front of the judge than it is actually coming someplace like this, or is it just a whole different?
To me, it's the same because I ain't judge. But don't scare me really. 'Cause if I did it, I know I did it, so I know I'm gonna get a consequence for it. And here, just like I can bear it twice. It ain't really nothing. Really, it ain't like how people say it is, but like that.
Do you think you'll come back a third time?
Nah, too old.
So when you get out, you're 18. If you do something wrong after that,
Yeah.
you're in the adult system. Does that scare you?
I've already been down there, but it don't really scare me because it's not like people say it is. I don't know about prison. I know about the county and this, but I don't know about prison though.
What do you think people on the outside think about you guys? What do you think viewers watching a show like this? What do you think they think about you guys?
They made a how can I say it? They did some bad stuff, but they made a way out to come out to better themselves.
Does being locked up in some ways doesn't help you? Tell me what helps once you're inside.
Say my cousin, he got killed. I was locked up. I could have been with him when he died, so I could have died too. You know, everything happens for a reason. So.
Do you think the groups and the programs and stuff they offer here help?
Yes. Yeah, it helps. If they don't, people only want to do it if they want to go home, but if they don't, they just don't care.
Seems like most of the kids we talk to when they first come in act up, they don't care, they know they're going to be here for a while, they fight, they get in trouble, and then after a while they finally go, okay, enough.
That's what I did.
Really? So tell me about
Fool.
that.
When I first got here, I just started fighting everybody, going to SEG, just doing dumb stuff, and then having riots and whatever. Then after a minute, this got old. I was like, it's boring. Now I'm tired of doing that shit.
So it's kind of like a light goes off. You finally say, I'm ready to do the program and get out. Because a lot of people might go, why don't you just behave and do the program and get out? It's not that simple.
It ain't easy. Sometimes the staff play counselors, they won't do their job, they never hear. So we can't, it's up to them to do we gotta do groups. And if you ain't done with your groups, you can't go home. So they talking about we gotta do our groups, but they won't do our groups, so it's to go home. So that's why we start clowning.
A lot of frustration.
Yeah.
The counselor's only here because y'all came. I'm gonna keep it real.
We know that.
Yeah, the counselor's only here, y'all came, and they don't want the facility to look bad. I don't know. I really don't care about the counselors. I'm about to go home next week. So.
You're going home next week?
Yeah.
And how long have you been here?
I've been here for 9 months. I got here 6/22/07.
Almost you? Final words you want to say?
That's it, petty. That's it, really.
Just ready to get out.
Yeah.
Pendleton ain't where it's at. Pendleton is not where it's at. When people know what I'm saying by Pendleton, it's not where it's at. People understand.
They come out 6 at a time for leisure time. Yeah, and so right now, we try not to have the same group come out every time, so we divide them up and then bring them out separately like that.
So tell me what it's like with this population here. Tell me about working with them.
It can be difficult at times, but pretty much it's calm and they all get along pretty good, even though you had the different gangs and stuff mixed in together. Yeah, so.
Do you think that would surprise most people? What do you think most people?
Actually, yeah, because you always think gangs and the problems with them, and so they're not supposed to be able to socialize and get along together, and they do. So it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, as long as they're complying.
So what are some of the challenges that you see with the kids? I know they can be impulsive. They can get mad suddenly, be happy 1 minute.
Yes, the aggression, the agitation, and it could be just as far as locking down, stopping the PlayStation to lock down and then come out in groups. Well, if they want to all be out at one time, it's difficult, you know, to get 6 in. We'll get them all locked down, only bring 6 out. So, you know, most times if you go ahead and get them locked down and then bring the 6 out, it's a little bit easier. Yeah.
So a lot of people might, you know, look at you and say, wow, here's this female working on this unit with all these boys, and these are, you know, teenage boys that have had gang affiliations. Mm-hmm. You know, what do you tell people about your job and whether or not it's, you know, are you ever scared? Whether you're ever scared or...
It can be intimidating at times, yeah, but if you stay the same every day, they expect, you know, what to do once you come in, you know, so like I said, it can be intimidating at times, but I've been with a lot of these boys too for the 4 years that I've been here. So, you know, we have a good rapport, so it kind of works out a little bit easier.
How do you gain their respect?
Just by treating them like another person, treating them like I want to be treated, you know, listening to them, dealing with their issues when they do want to discuss them with me. Basically whatever needs they have to be met, you know, I take care of that. Also, if I'm able to, they know I'm a stickler for safety, stickler for, you know, everyone walking out the same way we walked in, so therefore that's how it's going to happen. And so they like to be safe too, even though they act like, you know, they're bad boys and so hard and stuff. They want to be safe, they want organization, that type of thing.
And, you know, we've had a lot of the kids tell us, you know, deep down, they're scared when they first come.
Right.
So it's not like they, on the outside, they might seem tough, but you probably see a lot on the inside.
Yes, because now they're not just dealing with, you know, someone around the corner or down the street. They're dealing with a few different people from different gang affiliations and whatnot. So, you know, they kind of apprehensive about everything. And that's kind of like when you step in too and talk to them when you see them like that and let them know that you are here to help, you know, and that you are here for them. And then when they do have trouble or need to talk to someone, they can come to you because they know you've already put it out there for them. I try to pre-plan, pre-warn, you know, everything. Stop it before it happens. That way it won't come up. Yeah.
So tell me about the different types of gangs that have come through the Grove program that are here now. Just
that's every time, really, yes. But you know what? I don't single them out like that. You know, I don't come up and ask individually, which gang do you belong to, which gang are you affiliated with? Because it's not an issue. You see what I'm saying? So why bring it up? You know? But of course, when that situation does happen, we have to deal with it accordingly. But I couldn't really tell you, you know, who's in what gang and so on and so on because it's not put out there like that. And so long as you stay consistent with that and let them know that there's zero tolerance for it, then it's okay. It's okay.
Why do you like working with juveniles?
I've worked with juveniles, I'm not going to tell you my age. I worked with juveniles for at least 10 years now. Yes, and I hadn't dealt with DLC kids, and so I wanted to see what that was like. I've dealt with every type of child, and I hadn't worked with DLC kids. So I figured I'd try that out, you know, and then once I started working with them, I liked it, you know, and I've been here since because it's all about correcting behavior, you know, because someone didn't do something somewhere, you know, to make sure they're not in here, you know. So if I can at least get through to one person, 2 people maybe, you know, and help change their outlook on life, and then, you know, once they get out of here, they're able to function well in society, great. You know, I don't even pat myself on the back for that. I pat them on the back because they made the change and I was just here to help them, you know.
Because I think that there are a lot of people who assume, oh, my life will never intersect with these kids. Why should I care about these kids?
It doesn't matter if you're alive, you know, if you come in contact with them or anything, you're not here for that. You know, you're not worried about once they get out on the streets, am I going to come to them or why should I care? You know, it's helping them while they're in here and hoping that once they do leave, they'll make the appropriate decisions that they should. And if you took part in that, great, you know, but the turnover rate is kind of bad, but like I said, as long as you can get out to that 1 or 2 offenders, then you pretty much did your job.
What do you think the public thinks about these kids compared to what you know about them?
They would prefer not to deal with them. They would prefer not to have them in the neighborhoods, you know, but these are everyday kids. You know, every kid has issues. Theirs might be a little violent than others or more to deal with, but that's what we're here for. You know, so I don't look at them any different for that, you know, or judge them. Like I said, as long as, you know, the respect is there, the compliance is there, and they're willing to help themselves, then I'm here for you. You know, but, and a lot of people can't say that. You know, this is a paycheck to a lot of people. You know, I'm here to teach, I'm here to help, here to control, you know, here to maintain order, and that's what I plan on doing. Yes, and it's worked out so far pretty good, so hopefully it'll continue on.
We doing 6 at a time? We don't 6 at a time because the motherfucker is about to go home. What kind of shit is that, man?
No, that's not
Before
why
I do 6 at a time, I take mine about to be somewhere. I ain't doing that time shit.
As long as you clean, I don't care what you do. You're staying productive. Yes.
We on 6 at a time now?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we on 6 at a time now, you know. Guess people got to go in their rooms. You guys start cleaning up right now, camera people. How y'all doing today?
It's cleaning was fine with me.
The ones that's cleaning is fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can go ahead and grab your first 3 then for the PlayStation.
So for people who really don't know anything about gangs, don't understand gangs, don't know why you guys get in gangs, tell me about what it was like being in a gang before you came in here.
I mean, that's all you have. I mean, that's all you know. I mean, you stay loyal to that. I mean, if you in a gang, I mean, that's your family from family. That's like your number 1 thing on the list. That's like your work, your job, everything you do. You eat, sleep, think about it, all that. That's it. But when you get in here, I mean, they want you to change. It's like they want you to change overnight. I mean, they put you in this gang unit, and then they expect you not to do anything gang related. Like when y'all came the first time, they don't expect us to represent what we represent. And I mean, me, I'm gonna represent to the fullest. But I mean, the gang situation is like, you want to change, but sometimes it's hard to change because once you get in that situation, it's hard to get out.
How do you ever get out of the gang?
Like, one way you could get out, that's not the way you want to get out. Like, you can die getting out, because once you in, you in. Then, I mean, you can try to get out. I mean, like, just try to be low key with it, like go to church, go to work, make it look good on the outs. But then it'll still come back around you. The same people come back around you. They want you to do the same stuff over. And you tell them, no, I ain't gangbanging no more. And they ain't going for that, so that's how it is.
Is it scarier to get in a gang or out of a gang?
Both, because once you get in, I mean, it's crucial because you got to do so many things. But then when you want to get out, I mean, you just can't. That's like if you got a job at McDonald's. When you want to quit, you know what I'm saying, you can just say, hey, I'm done with this job, I quit. In gang, you can't say you quit. You just can't say, hey, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. Because once you in that, once you got them brothers in your corner, that's like your family. So you can't just be disloyal to your family.
So have you seen kids that have tried to get out of gangs and what's happened to them?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I mean, I didn't see it on the streets, like, people like they try to quit gang banging, and I mean it's not good. I mean, because like if you get caught, I mean if you really in a gang, because some people will false claim, they be like, are they in the gang, but they not in the gang. I mean they just rep something, but they don't know nothing about it. But if you really in the gang, really in it, you're not getting out. Because I done seen a couple people try to get out, and I mean wind up ICU, all that. But I mean if you really in the gang, and it's not going to be an easy way you can just say, hey, I want to get out of the game. But if you're not really in the game, we will know, because it would be easy for you to get out. You could be claiming this one day, and then next thing you know, you out of the game, so you really was never in the game.
What are some of the things that take place during gang initiation? What are some of the things they would make you to do to be a part of the gang?
I mean, you got send-offs, you got all that. You got
battery.
You got batteries, robberies, killings. I mean, in gangs there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, like if you want respect, you gotta get respect. I mean, I know you heard if you want respect, you got to give it. But if you want respect, you got to get it in the game. If you want to be known in the street, you got to get it. You got to make yourself known. That's like saying, I just got out of lockup. Like, I get released today. If I got released today, that's saying I go back on the street and I'm not known. And if I want to be known, I got to do something to be known. Whether if it's good, like putting out a CD, because I like to rap. If it's good, put out a CD. With me, I gangbang. So if it's that, then I have to probably murk somebody, you know, kill somebody, rob somebody, do something like that, illegal. But I mean, it's hard.
So, you know, we've talked a lot about you guys come through here, and some kids have been here, you know, a couple of years.
Yeah.
And you go through all these programs, and you go through all this counseling. But then if you go right back to the same neighborhood,
Yeah.
How does any of this help?
Well, I mean, some of it can help. Like, some can help because it's you that want to change. If you want to change, you're going to change. You can't help somebody that don't want help. I mean, that's plain and simple. That's no better way you can put it. If you don't want help, there ain't no reason for nobody wasting their time trying to help you. So, I mean, like, this growth plan and stuff, I mean, it really can't work if you're going back to the same environment and stuff and the same people around you. Because, like, if I get out, I know the same people that I gangbang with is going to come up to me, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, I got some things you can hold, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, if you want to change, you're going to change. Ain't nobody going to stop you. But, I mean, once you in, you in.
So how long have you been locked up? What are you in for?
I've been locked up 10 months altogether. I'm in for battery. So, I mean, it was kind of a situation that I got my own self in. I take responsibility for my own actions. I was out on the east side, because I'm from Evansville. I was out and I beat up a dude. We jumped a dude out there because, I mean, he tried taking my money in a sense. You know, I was trying to get some black side of the story. He took my money, and we beat him up, and then I went to the house and I got arrested. Came and arrested me.
So how do you feel about getting out and how your life is going to be when you get out of here? Because you're 18 now.
Yeah, I just turned 18 November 25th when I first got here. So when I get out, I mean, I want to get a steady job and stuff, but I know the same stuff that before I got in here is going to tempt me when I get out. I mean, you can go to church, you can get a job, you can praise Jesus, whoever, but once you in, like I said before, once you in, you win. You know what I mean? It's not an easy thing to get out. Some people get out the wrong way. You don't want to get out that way. I mean, you should think before you get in situations like this. You really should. But I hear a lot of kids, like on the house. My little brother, he's 9. And I hear him, I mean, he's good, you know what I mean? He's sweet. But he's 9. I don't want to be nothing like me. I mean, I know that's sad to say, but I don't want to be nothing like my brother, for him to be like his other brothers or his uncles and nephews instead of me, because I've been through some things. So I don't want him to go through none of that.
What are you going to do to help work with him to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, when I was out, I mean, I was never around him. I lived with him, but I never went around him. He got on my nerves bad, but that's what little brothers do. I mean, they bug you. But I mean, I love him. And when I get out, I'm going to be the best brother he can ever have. I mean, just, you know, if he wants something, he going to get it. I mean, if he's wrong, I'm going to correct him. But he going to get what he needs. Like, if he needs some shoes, he needs brother time, I'm going to give it to him. So, all that. I mean, you only have what you got for a little while, and then it's gone, so.
I love it to death. We were really busy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so tell me what's kind of been going on today. Crazy day?
We started off this morning. It was 6:30 in the morning. We had a 1010, and I think by 7:30 in the morning we had a signal 10, which means the officer needs assistance, and we've had 2 signal 2000s, which are escapes. And I think another signal 10 on top of that. So we've been really busy because all the people that are acting up out there have to come in here. Right now, we've been releasing people all day to make room for the people that, the things that are going on today. He's actually getting ready to go too. That's why all his stuff's kind of dragged out. But
So is he going back into general population?
yeah, he's going back to general population because I got to make room for the attempted escape that we had a minute ago. So we're constantly shuffling, and people sometimes get released a little shorter, but we do the best we can.
So what are some of the things you come up against with the kids who are in SAG? What's their attitude like? What are their actions?
For the most part, most of them are pretty isolated. They want to be left alone and kept in their room. They just kind of like having their own little space, kind of territorial, I guess. Others, they act out because they're behind the door. It kind of gives them. It's actually a term called cage courage, where they tend to. Because they know they're hiding behind the door and they're safe from any kind of recourse or anything, they can really act out, and it's, you kind of get the same effect when you put handcuffs on people. They'll be real compliant and everything right up to the point of you put those handcuffs or you put them behind a door, and then they just act like the toughest person in the world, and we run into a lot of that with them throwing things at us, and urine, feces, kicking the doors, etc. That's the overall general attitude. People have been down here for a while. They kind of learn, to get along, and we don't really have that much of a problem with them.
I actually heard there's also kids too who want to come to SAG because they're afraid for their safety in general population.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, this morning, that offender actually even admitted to me that he heard that he was going to be getting jumped today. So he runs out, jumps on the fence. It's a way to get protective custody without actually asking for protective custody. I'd say, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say 60% of these in here are really just forced protective custodies. They don't want to ask for custody. They just do something that will cause them to end up here, and they come down here for protection.
So were you here this morning when the first attempted escape happened?
Yep.
So tell me play that out for me. You're here, normal day, and then what?
Well, the call had come over for the Signal 2000, which is an escape, like I said before. Down there by E Complex, I believe it's on the west fence. I guess one of them jumped on the fence. It was from what I understand, it was a pretty half-hearted attempt. That's on the other side of the facility. By the time I got out there, it was pretty much, they're already bringing him back to me. It was a pretty half-hearted attempt. I think he gave him a little struggle and ended up getting sprayed with the OC. And then they brought him here, and he acts relieved now that he is here. As a matter of fact, I believe it's his second time trying to escape in the last 2 weeks because he's having such a problem getting acclimated with the other offenders out there in GP.
Is he a new kid to the facility?
Actually, no, but he's new to that unit. He was in the sex offender unit. He seemed to be doing fine there. Then he got kind of like promoted out, and he went to the military unit, and it didn't work out for him. So then they moved him into one of the other general population units. And I think he's having a hard time getting accustomed to the other offenders in there, or maybe they're having a hard time getting accustomed to him.
So which one is he?
He's out here, yeah. Felder, I'm gonna get you out of here in just a minute. You want to speak to him?
Yeah, we can talk to him. You're gonna talk to him.
Let me get out of the way.
Hey, how are you?
You want to do okay? Okay.
Hitting the fence?
Hitting the fence. Tell me about hitting the fence.
Well, after waiting on placement all so long, there wasn't really much for me to look forward to. Just trying to find some way of getting out.
So did you think about it ahead of time, or did you just spur of the moment?
I hit the fence last Saturday, too. Almost made it over that time. Wasn't really paying attention during this time. Just walked over there and ran for the fence.
So where were you coming from? Kind of talk to me about where you were coming from and what you actually did, because we didn't see any of it.
Well, I was coming from down here at first, over there by E Complex where the basketball court's at. I took off all the way down there and tried getting over that first fence, and then got pulled down by staff as PRT. not Patterson, but Guy and Freeman. If they wouldn't have been there, I probably would have gotten over it.
But there's all that razor wire.
I'm not scared to get cut. It wouldn't have been my first time. I've cut myself before getting that fence.
That doesn't bother you?
Not at all. I'm used to so much pain from early on in my childhood. It's just a small scratch. I could have a gouge from here in my arm down to here, and I'm just going to look at it like, wow.
So obviously, you haven't had it very good for a long, long time.
Nope. Most of my life has been torture and everything else. So.
Since you were little?
Yep. Ever since age 4.
Do you remember all of it?
Most of it. Some things I can't remember, but for the most part, yes.
So it all started at home?
Yep.
Is that what led to your problems and getting in DOC?
Well, I spent from age 10 to 12 in a state hospital for mental problems because I guess I was going off and doing a lot of stupid stuff out of nowhere.
Like what?
I'd wake up and act demented, just going around tossing stuff. I was constantly in rages, so they just put me in for it.
Do you remember going into rage?
Not really. Usually I blacked out.
So what did your family do this whole time?
When I was in there, they were basically celebrating that I was gone and not tearing things up. They were sort of happy that I was in there getting help. Granted, getting a shot in the rear end isn't too helpful. Being thrown in a room after that and then strapped to a board. Nothing to look forward about that.
So how did you end up in the Department of Correction?
I ended up getting locked up at age 13. From there, I messed up by getting in a lot of fights at school while I was at placement, which got me terminated from there. From there, went back, went over to White's, threatened my caseworker. They kicked me out for that, and now I'm here. Been here for the past 3 years.
3 years?
Yes, 3 years. I've been here when the facility had no razor wire, the fences were shorter. The facility was actually calm then. You might hear a 10-10 every 2 weeks, but now you basically hear it every day.
So how is it being around all these other kids? I hear,
Down here?
No.
On the unit, it can be good at times depending on what unit you're in. If you're in the unit I'm in, there's a high possibility you get jumped every week. Such as my case, since being over there for 2 months, I've been jumped 17 times.
Why did they jump you?
I have no clue. I mean, they say it's because I'm opening my mouth and telling staff. I haven't said anything to staff. I mean, word gets around by word from other people, and then it comes back and haunts that other person later.
So are you scared when you're in that unit?
It's not that I'm scared, it's the fact I have to watch and constantly protect myself.
So would you rather be locked up in seg than on
Yes, I actually would.
that? You'd actually what?
I'd rather be down here than on the unit. I mean, why would you want to be on a unit where you're getting jumped constantly? I mean, I've been asking for a reclass for a while now. But then again, I've been waiting on placement for 2 years.
They can't find a placement for you?
Because of all my mental history from the past, no placement will accept me now.
And home isn't an option anymore? You can't go home?
I'm trying to look into going with my pastor right now. If he won't accept me, then I'll have to take it into legal hands with my stepmom.
Do you want to go home to your stepmom?
Yes.
Does she want you home?
Yes.
So she would be willing to take you if you got released from here?
Yes. I mean, if I could get placement with her, I'd be more than happy to go. It's just my mom doesn't want me to. She has something against my stepmom and has for the longest time, so the way I look at it, if I can get placement with her, I'll leave.
What about a dad? Any dad in the picture?
Dad's in prison right now. Michigan City prison.
Michigan City.
Yes.
That's pretty
I mean,
hardcore.
My brother and sister decided to blame something on him, so he has to serve a 70-year sentence.
70?
Yes. I mean, we're looking at getting a court date since we found new evidence pointing to his innocence. If our case works out properly, he'll be next year.
What was he accused of? What was he?
Sexual misconduct with 2 minors.
Have you had any conversations with him at all since you've been locked up?
Nope.
No letters? Nothing? What about with your mom or your stepmom?
Stepmom. I mean, she'll have contact with him all the time and let me know what he says, but that's about it.
When was the last time you talked to your mom?
About 3 weeks ago, after I got jumped.
What'd she say?
Well, she was kind of surprised that I got jumped, but she didn't really have that much to say. I mean, she just wanted to hear how I was doing, how things were going, things like that.
So final words about being here, being in SEG, being locked up, period.
It sucks. I mean, it's not something you want. I mean, you're spending your life with a bunch of kids that don't know how to control themselves. What's the point of that when I could be out freely, being able to basically do what I want? Sleep when I want, eat when I want, eat what I want, instead of living by a diet. I mean, you can either lose weight here or you can gain weight. You shouldn't have to be able to go order something in order to eat. You should be able to just go out to the store and get it, go back home and eat. So being locked up, it just sucks.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so we were talking earlier about what brought you to SEG in the first place. What?
Yeah, just extortion and like beating up people and stuff. And I got determined to send it, so I got like a exact day where I go home and I ain't gotta like go through the program and stuff. So they just put me down here to make sure I stay out of trouble and I won't do nothing dumb before I went home.
So what's SEG like compared to general population?
It's BS, but I got used to it. I don't even adapt to this. I've been here for like 838 days, so I just adapted to being like in prison and stuff. So it really don't bother me too much now.
How long have you been locked up all together? Not just
838 days.
Just Pendleton, 838 days?
Yeah.
Were you locked up before Pendleton?
Huh? No, as soon as I went to my juvenile, and then they just shipped me off here. I had 2 years, a 2-year DT for armed robbery, and I did some stuff in the courtroom, hit one of the guards, and I had 6 months dead time. That's why I've been here.
You hit one of the guards in the courtroom?
Yeah, and I had to do 6 months dead time.
What made you want to hit one of the guards?
Cause they told me I was going to boys' school, and he had told me before court. He told me like, I hope you go to boys' school and stuff like that. And I told him if I go to boys' school, then I was going to crack him. So I hit him. And when they told me I was going to go to boys' school.
So, when people who don't know what boys' school is, explain what that is.
Man, it's more than it's harder than what they think. When normal people think boys' school, they just think like just a school where just all boys go and you don't have contact with females. But it's somewhat like prison, but then it's like just like a small version of it. It's cool.
So, are you scheduled to get out pretty soon, or?
Yeah, on the 15th.
The 15th of this month. So where are you going to go when you get out?
Fort Wayne.
Home?
Yeah, I'm going home. I go back with my mom. She just come up here and get me.
Are you afraid to go home at all, though?
No, I'm afraid of that like before, I had when I thought about like robbing somebody or beating up somebody, doing something, at the club or something, I get adrenaline rush. But now it's just like I get scared and like all like I don't know, clammy and stuff, thinking about me getting locked back up again. And now I won't be in juvenile. I go across the street, so then I got a lot of stuff going through my head about that.
Because you're 18 and you get out and you do armed robbery, you're serving time in adult prison.
10 years.
So, Is this, once you've been someplace like this, does that really make you stop and think before you commit another crime when you're on the outside?
For me, because like most people come here, they go through the program, so they got a choice rather if they really want to go home or stay here. But me, I determined to send it, so even if I did do good, I still had to stay here for 2 years. And like me going through that and still knowing no matter what, I was still gonna be here if I did good or bad, it kind of, I guess it reflected on me better than doing the program would have. Cause if I would have just did the program, I probably would have been out 6 months and recommitted again.
So do you have any remorse at all for any of the victims that you robbed or beat up?
No.
No remorse? You don't feel bad?
No, I don't feel bad. He snitched on me.
So that's what you beat up somebody that snitched on you?
Yeah, me and somebody else, we had beat up this dude and took his wallet and pistol whipped him and all this other stuff. And he just told the detectives and all his mama and stuff like that. I got locked up for that when I got pulled over.
But what about the armed robbery?
That's what I'm talking about. I had a weapon and he just told him what happened and stuff. And I was already on the run for escaping from placement and stuff, so that didn't help.
So you actually think that when you get out of here, even though you don't feel bad for any of the crimes you committed in the past, that you're going to be okay when you get out?
Yeah, I mean, I pray every day that I stay out of trouble, because I know how I am and how I got a quick temper and stuff. But I don't know. I hope that I don't get locked up. But I know I might, if I go back to the way I used to be and the same people around me, I know I'm gonna get involved in that stuff no matter how hard I try not to. So I'm just gonna try like not to be around that stuff when I get out.
That's not gonna be easy to do, is it?
No, cause I've been living, where I live at, it's like a bad environment. I've been living there since my whole life, and that's like all I know. So me being somewhere else is like just gonna be new to me.
Were you involved with any gangs or anything?
Yes, Vice Lord.
Vice Lords?
Yeah, I've been like I ain't have a choice, cause I was born into it. But I mean, now that I think I wouldn't go back to change that, cause that's part of me. That's who I am now, and it helped make who I am now.
So do you think you'll go back to the Vice Lords when you get out?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm always be Vice Lord. It's just a tone is set with it, like stuff to do and like how much you gotta do, cause when I was out, I always was proving myself to the people I looked up to and the people that had more rank than me in the gang. So I was always pleasing them. But now I know that I just gotta, worry about myself and my family and stuff like that.